So I will give the floor to you on Bill Russell's legacy, Bob Ryan.
There are two facets to Bill Russell that need to be discussed, and we can take them in whatever order you like. There's the basketball player and there's the man. He's known for basketball for very, very good reason. He's the greatest documented winner in North American sports history, having competed from 1959 to 1955 to 69 for 16 championships, 2 NCAAs, a gold medal in Melbourne, and 13 NBA championships. His teams just happened to win 14 of those. And then the 15th one, he was injured. And anybody reasonable knows they would have beaten the Hawks in 58, which would have made it one more. Now, and he also, we'll talk about the technique, but he put the block shot into basketball, made it an art form. And as he once said, I love this quote, I introduced verticality to basketball. I made basketball vertical. Bill Russell was an athlete ahead of his time. He could kick the rim. I said kick, K-I-C-K, not touch, T-O-U-C-H. His lateral mobility was extraordinary. He was an athlete so far ahead of his time it's hard to comprehend. All right, that's the basketball. The other side is that he was one of the great Americans of the 20th and 21st century, a proud black man who did not let racism defeat him. He tolerated. He didn't tolerate it. He gave it the back of his hand. He had a great quote, Rich, that I think people should really fasten on, and that is, he loved saying this: "My citizenship is not a gift; it's a birthright." And by that, he meant that he did not need the approval of white America to do anything, and whether it's sleep, eat, play basketball, vote, anything. That was something that should have been automatically given to him as a citizen of America. And he acted in that manner, and it was not anything that he should not be grateful for. It was something that was owed him by birthright. And he lived his life with that motto. He lived an extraordinarily eventful life, and should be remembered really as far more than just a great basketball player.
Do you have a good story about him as the man that you witnessed yourself personally?
Well, just the charm. Yeah, he's an interesting man because he was in control of every relationship. Okay, and he had a very interesting definition or concept of friendship as opposed to being someone's acquaintance or being in the outer circle. He put a great premium on it, and he had kind of his own rules. He has his own rules for everything, and he controlled the relationships. I spent one memorable evening that I will never forget. In 1999, the city of Boston got around to doing what should have been done years before, and officially honored Bill Russell and his for being Bill Russell. There was a sold-out ceremony at the Boston Garden. The MC, by the way, was Bill Cosby, and celebrities of all walks of life were there in that sold-out building. And I was given the privilege by the Boston Globe of writing the preview story, the setup story for the event. And in so doing, I interviewed Bill over dinner in Providence, Rhode Island, for over 3.5 hours, in which he put on his A game for me. His charm was tremendous. He told stories. He has his most famous laugh. You probably have heard about the cackle of his laugh. It's one of the most memorable things about him personally. And it was an extraordinary evening, and I'm very proud of the story. It's been reprinted with a little editing in today's Boston Globe Online. I recommend it for anybody's reading. And it was a great night, and I'll never forget it. So I'll just say that. I had a little acquaintanceship with him, mostly took place in the 80s when he was a broadcaster. I covered him as the coach of the Sonics and Sacramento. I did not cover him as a player. I came in the year after he retired, but I got to know him a little bit in the ensuing years, but that night was the highlight. I'll never forget it.
So, and obviously, no Celtic has worn 6 and will ever again since Russell's retirement.
I really believe that if the NBA should duplicate baseball with Jackie Robinson.
That was my next question.
And there should be a 6 taken down. Nobody should wear 6 in the NBA. Period.
That was my next question. Do you think the NBA should do that? And
yes, that would be a perfectly fitting tribute right now. Yes, I think that's, to me, it's a given. It's a no-brainer. But let's see what happens.